Good morning. This is the Daily Chronicle, and today we're diving into one of the most urgent questions facing the world right now. Will the United States get involved in the escalating conflict between Iran and Israel? President Donald Trump is keeping the world guessing.
You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question? Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago?
His latest statement, I may do it. I may not do it. Nobody knows what I'm going to do. It's a line that captures the strategic ambiguity surrounding the U.S. role in this fast-developing crisis. So, what could push the U.S. from the sidelines into the battlefield? And what would American involvement actually look like? Let's break it down. The situation in the Middle East has entered dangerous new territory. Over the past week, Israel and Iran have exchanged direct missile fire, something that hasn't happened on this scale in decades. Iran has mobilized its proxies in Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have hit targets deep inside Iranian territory. In response, President Trump has deployed additional U.S. military assets to the region. But so far, no green light for direct action. His message has been both simple and unclear. We are ready to act, but only if necessary. So what would make it necessary? There are a few clear red lines. First, an attack on U.S. troops or bases. There are thousands of American personnel stationed in Iraq, Syria, and across the Gulf. If they come under fire, especially from Iranian-backed militias, the U.S. is almost certain to respond with force. Second, if Iran tries to block the Strait of Hormuz, that narrow stretch of water is a global artery for oil, and the U.S. Navy considers it a no-go zone for interference. If Iranian warships or drones try to shut it down, expect a rapid U.S. naval counterstrike. Third, if Israel formally asks for help. Now, Israel has one of the most advanced militaries in the world. But a multi-front war with Iran, Hezbollah, and possibly Hamas could stretch its capabilities. If Israeli leaders ask Washington for air or missile support, Trump will be under enormous pressure to say yes. And finally, nuclear escalation. If Iran moves to weaponize its nuclear program or threatens to use chemical weapons, the U.S. could view that as justification for a preemptive strike. In short, Trump's maybe could become a yes overnight, depending on how this conflict evolves. Now let's talk about what's already in place. The United States isn't starting from scratch. In fact, it has a massive military presence already positioned across the region. 3 aircraft carriers, the Eisenhower, Nimitz, and Carl Vinson, are now operating in the eastern Mediterranean and Arabian Sea. Air bases in Qatar, Kuwait, and Turkey are hosting B-1 and B-52 bombers, along with aerial refueling and reconnaissance assets. Patriot and Viad missile systems are active across the Gulf, providing missile shield coverage to allies and U.S. assets. And let's not forget about the massive ordnance penetrator, a bunker-busting bomb capable of striking Iran's underground nuclear facilities. If President Trump gives the order, these assets can deliver precision strikes within hours. Trump's approach to this crisis is consistent with how he's handled foreign policy before, a mix of unpredictability and calculated pressure. By saying, I may do it, I may not, he sends a signal to Tehran, don't test us. But at the same time, it gives him political room to maneuver. Remember, Trump campaigned on avoiding endless wars. His base doesn't want another Iraq or Afghanistan. With the crucial election just over a year away, he's walking a fine line between showing strength and avoiding entanglement. But that strategic ambiguity has its risks. Iran or its proxies may miscalculate. One errant missile, one strike on a U.S. convoy, and this war could pull in the world's most powerful military. Interestingly, Trump hasn't ruled out diplomacy. He's hinted that Iran may want to talk and that the U.S. might listen. But for now, there are no formal negotiations. Just military maneuvers, intelligence coordination, and a lot of waiting. Behind the scenes, European and Gulf allies are urging restraint. But time may be running out. So what's the outlook? In the short term, the U.S. will continue to support Israel through intelligence sharing, logistical aid, and missile defense. That includes real-time satellite data, cyber surveillance, and resupply of munitions. But if this war escalates further, if Iran ramps up its attacks, if Israel signals it can't hold the line alone, or if U.S. forces are hit directly, then the Biden doctrine may be replaced by a Trump strike order. And then the ambiguity will be over. To sum it up, the United States is not in this war yet, but it's getting closer. The pieces are on the board. The troops are in position. And one decision from the White House could change everything. We'll be tracking this story closely in the coming days. For now, this is the Daily Chronicle. Thanks for watching and stay safe.